I hope John learned from me, but let me paint the picture of John as a student. John was not a happy student when I knew him. He was studying electrical engineering. He had a 6'7" Germanic heel-clicking advisor, and he didn't want to do what he was doing. Now, I'm not sure I'm the only person that advised him to follow his passion in the arts, but he did, and I'd like to think I had a little influence. He went off to Japan, he got his PhD, and he came back. Came back at a time that was one of the worst times, actually, of the Media Lab, because a very cherished colleague, Muriel Cooper, whom some of you would know for sure, had died, and we needed to replace Muriel Cooper, which is not possible. You can't replace Muriel Cooper, but we were interviewing people, and Meryl, just like you, when we had that interview, we knew we had found the right person. So what I hope John learned is, first of all, to be amphibious, to be equally at ease with the science community, the art community, the rich, the poor, the academic, and people who aren't academic in any way. And one has to move very freely amongst them and be very much accessible. The second thing I hope he learned was that the impossible is the fun stuff. When somebody says something's impossible, that's like raise sort of a red flag to a bull. It means we should want to do it. And you don't want to join bandwagons, you want to make them. And that's what I think will happen at RISD. Now, what I learned from John is a little different. First of all, I learned that behind this impenetrable face was a very warm person. Was somebody who engaged at levels that I just didn't ever think of. And unpacking students, jogging around campus, and the blogs are all just examples, probably the tip of an iceberg. But there's something else that I learned, and maybe I relearned it, and it was about simplicity. And simplicity is something I always cherish, but sometimes you have to tell somebody that they cherish it for them to realize themselves how important it is. One of the first things he said to me was, well, you know, simplicity has the letters MIT in it. I thought that was very cute until I went home that night and realized that complexity has the same 3 letters in it. So what, John? But it was still cute, and it got me thinking, and here's why I think it's so important. I'm involved with the industry that has the following situation. In electronics, you can make whatever you made this year at half the price a year and a half from now. And that's more or less true. So here you are in an industry, whether you're making cell phones or laptops or whatever, that you know that the price is going to drop by roughly 50% in less than 2 years. So what do you do if you're a commercial organization? What you do is you add features. Because if you add features, let me pick a cell phone as an example, then if somebody paid, whatever, $100 for a cell phone 2 years ago, when they buy a new one, we hope they'll also pay $100 versus $50 because we'll have more features in it. We're going to put cameras in them, we're going to do this, we're going to put all sorts of software and on and on and on. So it's not that somebody is being malicious, but it's just a natural phenomenon to add more features. And what happens is when you add more features, you eventually turn everything into an SUV. Because what's happening is that it uses more gasoline to move the car than the person. And this is what's happening in your computers, in your laptops, in your cell phones. And it's very important to break that spell. And John helped break that spell.